I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
Diddy was at this party? Denzel Washington was at this party?
Yep.
Birdman was at this party?
Yes, he was.
So you're telling me Denzel Washington was... He had a beanie on, socks on, and a gold chain, and that's it. In front of...
Yep.
Funny. Because he sure portrays himself to be holier than thou.
Yep. So a lot of them do.
Be gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a mother to be at the mansion party. You be looking at all the goddamn rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room and
Hollywood loves rebels. As long as the rebellion is safe, performative, or profitable, cross the line, challenge egos, or stick to your principles. Suddenly, you're a difficult. That's the story for Jim Carrey and Denzel Washington. Both have hit the top tier of Hollywood success, yet both are quietly labeled intense, unlikable, or tricky, not for scandal, but for resisting the system. In recent interviews and resurfaced clips, Carrey explained why Washington never comfortably fit Hollywood's mold, and why that same refusal made Carrey himself a target. This isn't hate, it's discomfort. Two men refusing to hollow themselves out for approval. Carrey's issues with Hollywood didn't start with politics or controversy. They started the moment he stopped pretending fame was fulfilling. At his peak, he had it all: money, awards, influence, adoration. But instead of shielding the illusion, he questioned it publicly. He spoke about emptiness. Ego as a trap, and openly criticized the system that crowned him.
What do you think as you watched it unfold and then what happened after?
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There was some question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. You know, that insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
No, I agree. I think we all agree on that. I just thought, Jim, that it escalated to that. You know what I mean? That it escalated to that level.
It didn't escalate. It came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's frustrated, and I wish him the best. I really do. I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things. But that was not a good moment. It cast a pall over everybody's shining moment last night. You know, a lot of people worked really hard to get to that place and to have their moment in the sun and to get their award for the really hard work they did. And it is no mean feat to go through all the stuff you have to go through when you're nominated for an Oscar. It's a gauntlet of devotion that you have to do. And it was just a selfish moment to cast a pall over the whole.
Hollywood tolerates quirks, but it cannot tolerate exposure. Carrey didn't attack people, he attacked the structure. He called Hollywood spiritually hollow, emotionally disconnected from real life. That made insiders squirm because he was speaking from within. Later, when defending figures like Washington, Carrey framed them as men who refused to perform weakness for validation. In Hollywood's eyes, insecurity is currency, and anyone who doesn't need validation is unpredictable. Carrey went from beloved comic to unstable fast. Hollywood once celebrated his authenticity, then weaponized it. Washington experienced the same pattern. Refuse the game and the story flips. Confidence becomes arrogance, integrity becomes ego, silence becomes punishment. Washington's conflicts aren't chaos, they're structure. He respects hierarchy, preparation, and roles. That collides with modern Hollywood, where fame often trumps discipline. Take the Ellen Pompeo incident on Grey's Anatomy. Washington was directing. Pompeo improvised. He corrected her. Simple. I'm the director.
Let's hear Ellen recalling her big blowout on the set of Grey's Anatomy with a director whose name we all know, Denzel Washington.
You had Denzel come in, right? And he directed.
Oh my God, Patrick. Denzel was amazing because, Denzel's a movie star, right? He doesn't know about directing TV. So Denzel went ham on my. He was like, I'm the director. Don't you tell him what to do. And I was like, listen, this is my show. This is my set. Who are you telling? Like, you barely know where the bathroom is. And I have the utmost respect for him. But we went at it. He did the show because his wife is a big fan. We didn't get through it without a fight. But, that's actors for you. Passionate and fiery. And that's where you get the magic. So it was an amazing experience.
All right, so we got a little context. But you were in that infamous episode, so what was your experience with Denzel?
I mean, I would say in all of the television that I've done in my life, that was one of the most profoundly impactful acting experiences. Everything that he brought to us as an acting note was gold. And we would grab it and just keep it forever.
I can't imagine, when the goat walks in the room, you're like, okay.
Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable.
So good. So good. Well, speaking of Mr. Washington, his classic film Training Day, the one that got him a Best Actor Oscar, turns 20 next week. So, what does Denzel think of it now? In short, he doesn't.
That line should have ended it. Instead, it sparked outrage. Pompeo pushed back, claiming ownership, later complained publicly, and fans debated. Some saw entitlement, others professionalism. But in Hollywood, these moments linger quietly. They shape reputation. Washington doesn't soften authority to spare feelings. He sees clarity as respect. That makes people uncomfortable in an industry built on blurred lines. Actors directing actors, friends managing friends, power disguised as collaboration. Washington doesn't play that game. Separating roles clearly feels threatening to those who thrive in chaos. Expecting standards, nothing more, is enough to earn quiet resentment, even from those who publicly praise him. Consider Washington versus Quentin Tarantino on Crimson Tide. Tarantino added uncredited, racially charged dialogue. Washington didn't whisper or wait. He challenged it openly.
You've never worked with Quentin, have you?
No, he's never hired me.
Quentin?
He's never hired me.
Quentin, what's the problem with you? What's wrong with you? Why have you not ever written a film for Denzel?
I haven't been that lucky.
Okay. Well, are you going to do one now?
It would be my honor, and I'm really not just saying that. I think he is one of the...
That moment exposed a Hollywood power imbalance. Tarantino, the untouchable genius, expected compliance. Washington asked, why this language and who does it serve? They reconciled years later, but never collaborated again. Silence speaks. Hollywood praises script bravery, but resists real-life bravery. Washington wasn't censoring. He questioned intention. Boldness isn't cruelty. Honesty isn't hostility. Carrey has said, and Washington's refusal to stay quiet fits that mold. He defended boundaries without personal attacks. Hollywood often mistakes that for rebellion. Post-2022 Oscars, Washington drew scrutiny again, seen praying with Will Smith, offering advice. Calm words, at your highest moment, be careful. Some read it as wisdom, others favoritism. What got lost? His steady mentorship. Washington doesn't perform morality for cameras. He guides privately. That restraint mirrors Carrey's critique. Public humiliation rarely helps.
You just came back from the Oscars, and congratulations, and hats off and kudos and all of that. But I got to ask you right now, Pastor Washington, you stepped in the middle of World War III. We were looking at Ukraine, and it happened on the Oscars when Will, who I love, smacked Chris, who I love. You came in as a senior statesman into that situation. Now, don't let me tell you about it. You tell me, what happened? What happened? What happened? To these icons, these legends got into a fight in front of the world. What happened? No, it wasn't a fight. It was just one person slapping the taste out of the other one's mouth.
Well, there's a saying, when the devil ignores you, then you know you're doing something wrong. Wait a minute, I'm not done now. You know, the devil goes, oh no, leave him alone. Man, he's my favorite. Don't you bother him.
Yeah.
Conversely, when the devil comes at you, maybe it's because you're trying to do something right. And for whatever reason, the devil got a hold of him, that circumstance, that night. And fortunately, there were people there, not just me, but others in the gap, Tyler Perry came right immediately right over there with me, and some prayers, you know, keep it. I don't want to say what we talked about, but there but for the grace of God, go any of us.
Yeah.
You know, who are we to condemn? You know, I don't know all the ins and outs of the situation, but I know the only solution was prayer. The way
Hollywood thrives on spectacle. Washington doesn't. Correction is private, not performative. Carrey argues outrage culture often replaces reflection. Washington proved it. Calm, controlled, human-focused. That calm, radical, in a reaction-driven industry. It fuels the misconception he's distant or unrelatable. Is he hated? Misleading admiration mingles with resentment. He prioritizes family, dismisses trivial complaints, and exposes Hollywood's self-importance. Carrey echoes this. Remind people their struggles are small, and some feel exposed. Washington doesn't romanticize celebrity suffering. He doesn't cast himself as a victim. That independence disrupts Hollywood's emotional currency. Tensions with Tyler Perry or Steve Harvey, mostly narrative fueled by perception. Bottom line, anyone who doesn't buy into Hollywood's emotional economy is labeled a difficult. YouTube loves that blur of fact and speculation. It turns integrity into controversy.
How you feel about the allegations he being accused of?
We got to deal with Tyler. We got to deal with Tyler. When you talk about the jealousy that the music industry has for black men, it's insane, bro. It's insane. Tyler Perry goes to the BET Awards. He gives a speech, and he's an excellent orator, by the way. I'm an orator. I study oratory. Tyler Perry could have been a pastor or a community activist. He's a very good speaker, very good public speaker. He says that I've made more millionaires than every other studio in this city combined. That's what he says. And don't you know, I don't know if it was the next day, but it was definitely the same week. All of a sudden, he gets hit with a $260 million lawsuit from Derek Dixon, who met Tyler Perry in 2019 as an employee of an event company. So he was working at one of the events that Tyler Perry contracted this event company to come to and host. He met Tyler Perry there. Tyler Perry invited him to audition for an upcoming show called Ruthless. Later on, Tyler Perry tells him, allegedly, according to Derek Dixon's attorney, Tyler Perry told him, I can change your life. Stick with me, I could change your whole life. He then invites him to audition for a role on The Oval. Tyler Perry series The Oval. Derek Dixon stars in 85 episodes of The Oval between 2020 or 2021 until 2024, 2025. In January of 2020, Art, right before COVID, Tyler Perry allegedly texts Derek Dixon and says, among other things, I can't remember the last time I had really good. Now, as a male, if another man sends me a text telling me he can't remember the last time he had good, I already know that ain't somebody I need to be around alone, because he clearly got the wrong idea about me. In fact, I'm gonna have to let him know. In the future, fam, I don't need to know about
More tea to spill on P. Diddy, and this one ain't pretty, because it involves one of your most favorite television talk show hosts, Steve Harvey. Yes, apparently, there's a little birdie going around Hollywood saying that in the late 90s, Diddy, which I know about this because I had a friend who worked detail on the party, invited Steve Harvey to one of his famous freak-offs and then recorded Steve Harvey in a very compromising position with somebody else, if you know what I mean. Which doesn't bode too well for Mr. Family Man, you know what I mean? So, the freak-off situation got pretty crazy. There was a tape circulating, I have seen the tape. But the problem here is Diddy has been blackmailing Steve Harvey for the last 25 years, including, and this is also some reports that I've been able to verify, Diddy was dating his daughter, as well as Diddy's son was dating his daughter, and people said reports that Diddy was using her as an ATM machine. This is disgusting to my core to hear accusations like this, and I have to confess this to you people, but the truth must come to light. And all these disgusting stories will be heard.
Washington's real offense? Independence. He doesn't crave approval. He challenges a system built on dependence. Hollywood's leverage, awards, press, roles, access fails on someone already complete. Washington openly walks from roles, rejects misaligned projects, chooses family over visibility. Control? Carrey mirrors him. Post-success, he steps back, questions the system, even disappears. Hollywood brands distance as instability, not intention. And when men like Washington refuse self-degradation for acceptance, they unsettle the machine. He doesn't joke about his dignity.
I was one of the three that had a father in my life, even though my parents were together. But I still had a father who was a gentle man and a good example, and they didn't. We can blame the system if we want, but they didn't lock any of us up at 7.
Yeah.
We were all doing enough to get locked up at 13. My parents sent me in another direction. They didn't have anybody to help them, and they kept doing what.
No helplessness, no desperation for approval. Quiet strength that disrupts Hollywood narratives reliant on emotional exposure. Carrey said fame reveals who's real and who's transactional. Washington proves it. Respect is earned, affection withheld. Not because he failed, but because he doesn't need it. Hollywood calls people difficult when they can't be controlled. Carrey and Washington reached a level where approval no longer mattered. Boundaries set, honesty spoken. No reshaping for comfort or access. Independence threatens an industry built on dependency. They weren't pushed aside for misbehavior, they were unmanageable. The real question is Hollywood uncomfortable with who they are or with proof that success doesn't require submission?